Hey everyone, Dr. Jamie here again. And I was just thinking about the fact that September is National Suicide Prevention Month. So I thought maybe I'd talk to you a little bit about suicide and suicidal behavior. Um, so, as you all know, I'm sure suicide is the act of deliberately taking one's own life. And that suicidal behavior is any deliberate action with potentially life-threatening consequences. Ah, I can't talk today. Consequences, such as taking a drug overdose or deliberately crashing your car or whatever. There's way too many ways this can happen. Um, so people who attempt suicide are often trying to get away from a life situation that seems impossible to deal with. And many who make a suicide attempt are seeking relief from bad thoughts or feelings, feeling ashamed, guilty, or like they're a burden to others. Sometimes it's because they feel like a victim or they're feeling rejection, loss, or loneliness. I mean, no matter what, it's to get out of pain and, emotional pain usually. Um, and it's, I don't know, it can be triggered. It can be triggered by pretty much any situation that you can get to where you go down a rabbit hole, you get tunnel vision, and it doesn't seem like anything is going to make it change. Even positive things, once you're in that tunnel vision, make you think that that's just one more reason to take your own life. Anyhow, so suicide behaviors can be triggered by an event that a person just views as overwhelming, such as aging. The elderly actually have the highest rate of suicide. It can also be the death of a loved one or dependence on alcohol or some other drug, emotional trauma, serious physical illness, especially if you have a terminal illness, and or it could be unemployment or financial problems. So pretty much anything actually can trigger hopelessness and thoughts of suicide. Um, there's certainly risk factors or triggers for suicide in adolescence specifically, which is like access to firearms that they obviously shouldn't have. Um, a family member who committed suicide or someone who's very close to them. And, you got to think about the fact that there may also be kind of shared or common, a common mood disorder between family members. So that can be an issue. Um, they may have a history of deliberate self harm. Self harm, however, is not suicidal behavior, but a person can accidentally kill themselves by engaging in self harm. They may have a history of neglect or abuse, or living in communities where there's been, a recent outbreak of suicides in young people. And most commonly, I think most commonly with adolescents, especially with boys, is a romantic breakup. So anyhow, suicide attempts that don't result in death are much more common than completed suicide, thank goodness. But many of these suicide attempts are carried out in a way that make rescue possible. And a lot of times those attempts just often represent a desperate cry for help. So if you know anybody who's having any sort of behaviors or thoughts of suicide, behaviors that would indicate that they may be, take it seriously. If they say that they're going to commit suicide or that they want to die, take it seriously and reach out for help. And I beg you, if you are thinking about suicide, please reach out for help because whatever you're going through, it really is temporary, even though it doesn't seem like it right now. But there is help out there, and you can turn that around and absolutely have an awesome, content, joyous, wonderful life. You just have to hang on, okay? Just hang on and realize and tell yourself, actually tell yourself out loud if you have to, this is going to change. This is going to get better. Whatever that problem is, just keep telling yourself it's going to get better. I don't know how right now, but I know it's going to get better. It's gotten better before. It's going to get better again. Okay. So I thank you guys all for being here today and listening to me drone on. And I think I'll talk about suicide again next week, and see what else we can talk about as far as like suicidal behaviors. Anyhow, I hope that you all have a blessed and wonderful day, and you take care of yourselves. Okay. All right. Bye bye.